Hello everyone, today we have new video review, and as you can see this time we're gonna check crash kit from Rye Field Model. It's a Panther Ausf.G and of course it is molded in 1/35 scale, and it's also, let's say, limited edition because it packs clear turret and upper hull parts, and that's fresh kit, so it's interesting to check it closer. Let me remind you that we are still gathering money for the new camera. You can help us by pressing the donate button on our website. It is easy and of course it's safe because it's done via PayPal, so you just decide the amount you would like to send us. As for this kit, it was quite interesting for me since the announcement because it's only one which packs clear parts as far as I know, but I heard that there is also another manufacturer announced that they would like to include this section and this section out of clear plastic, but on the moment of announcement it was the only one, and now we have a chance to check it closer. And we all know that our Rye Field model kits are quite detailed, so this one shouldn't be an exclusion. Here we have short list of possible features. So here we have set of steel road wheels and also movable track links, suspension system, artillery, also accurately reproduced and highly restored interior and exterior parts. So all necessary features are inside. Here you can see comparison with my hand. It's not that big box, but it's quite thick, and here you can see it. And also here you can notice those clear parts which are included into this particular version of the famous German tank. It's quite heavy box, I would say. And here you can see 3 marking options which are included into this kit. You will be able to replicate them with this plastic. That's a top opening box. As you can see, it arrived to me slightly bent, let's say, because of the postal service. And here you can see also those, I'm not sure what it is. Yes, here we have the special clear parts which are packed into the separate plastic bag. As you can see, they are broken off because of the post, of course, and still they are intact as far as I can see. And also here you can see these 2 marking options which are included into this kit. Just give me a second. We will check this sprue first, and then we will continue to add the frames a bit later. That's not sealed back. So now we're gonna open this flap and check everything closer. Just give me a second. Okay, so you can hear it. Plenty of broken parts. Still this clear hull part looks great. And as for turret part, unfortunately it's a bit scratched because it was broken off. Here it is. Also here we have this top section for the hull, and also here is the glacis plate. I'm not sure why it is supplied a separate piece. Maybe you can use only this part with let's say full grey plastic panel, and then have only this section transparent. But again, I'm a bit surprised that turret was broken off and now it's scratched because of such, let's say, a shipment quality, and I'm not sure. But actually one side is intact, as you can see here, and another one has slight scratches, small scratches, but I think it will be possible to assemble, let's say, to hide this problem somehow on the build. Next we have plastic parts which are molded out of light brown plastic. I'm going to open the sprues one by one and we will check them closer in a second. Okay, so here is the first one. As you can guess, here we have turret parts. This is a mantled cover. Also here we have different hatches, lower part, lower section of the turret, some internal parts for the main gun. Molding quality is really nice. I can zoom in so that you can see these minor parts. They look fine. Here you can see comparison with my finger so that you can understand their real size. Next we have another plastic sprue, and as far as I can understand, all plastic frames are packed into the separate plastic bags. Of course, that's a good thing to have. And for this, Rye Field Model gets nice one point, let's say. Here you can see internal parts. These are concerned as far as you can see with engine. Also here we have two seats, and I would like to zoom on them so that you can see them closer. As you can see, detailing is really nice. These paintings look quite natural. Of course, everything will depend on painting quality as well. Here you can see some other parts, and again there is no flash, thin attachment points, so I think everything will be easy and fast, and final result would look good, especially in this scale. Next we have hull parts, and this, let's say, area should be assembled out of separate panels. I'll show them in a second. So here they are. That's a lower hull parts, and when we flip it over, here you can see the special slots for all internal components in this tank. And I think there won't be any problems with position because we have special tabs here. And also another interesting feature, note the sweaters, because sometimes you're trying to find the necessary sprue with particular part, and just because the sweaters are barely readable, you are having a tough time, let's say. But here it should be easy because these sweaters are drilled out and they will be visible even when sprues are placed one on one. And next we have another plastic bag. I wonder how many sprues are here and how many parts in total in this kit. But here you can see next plastic sprue. Again, plenty of minor components. Don't forget that this is a interior kit, so we have all interior components included. Of course, it will require some time, and I won't mention any, let's say, painting processes because it will be quite tricky and time demanding, but final result should be worth it. So take your time, do not hurry with this, and then you will get a really nice tank. Next we have parts for the engine, and here is quite interesting element of this tank, so I would like to show it in a full zoom. Just give me a second. Okay, so here it is. And now we zoom into those engine parts. As you can see, engine parts have some pre-molded elements out of the box. Of course you will have to add some separate elements later, but still it looks quite nice. I mean, look on all those minor parts, they look really good. And I think once you assemble and paint this engine, it will look as good as some resin additions from aftermarket manufacturers. And it's really good to see that now we can get such detailing out of the box without getting some aftermarket sets. I really appreciate that manufacturers are trying to improve their detailing quality and also, let's say, what we get out of the box. Now I'm opening the next plastic bag. Here this one is more concerned with external panels because for example here modeler will find mud guards, front ones. Also here we have stowage boxes which are molded as one-piece parts. I'll flip it over so that you can see them. Also, what is interesting here, for example, these engine vents, and as far as I can guess you will have to use PE parts for this because otherwise it might be not that detailed. But we are not on the bottom of the box, so I'm not sure if there is any PE thread. I can see track parts, but I don't see any PE thread yet. Here you can see turret parts. Again, nice molding quality. I will zoom in so that you can see them closer. No issues at all, and we even have some pre-molded elements again. Then there are two absolutely identical frames which are packed into the same plastic bag. As you can guess, here we have ammo and road wheels. I'll show you only one because there is no point to show them together. They carry absolutely similar parts. Just give me a second. Here it is. And note that all ammo pieces are molded as one-piece parts, so you have to paint them one by one, I guess. Then here we have some parts for the tracks. These are pins which will have to be inserted inside. Here you can see them closer. And of course road wheels, which look quite nice. Just apply some washes on them and you'll get really nice result. Now I'm going to take the next plastic sprue. There are 2 more left, and that's pretty much all for brown set. Just give me a second to open it. Okay. So as for this brown plastic sprue, here we have again some external elements. I'll zoom out so that you can see it. That's a rear armor panel as far as you can guess, or maybe some interior parts, interior walls, which will have to be used. These are fuel tanks, of course, and again overall detailing looks really nice. And I can confirm that I already see PE thread in this box, and it is quite detailed. So you'll understand what I'm talking about once you see it. But first we're going to check last brown plastic sprue, which is dedicated to, just give me a second, here it is, which is dedicated to road wheels and suspension parts. These are torsion bars. As you remember, this model will have workable suspension, so that's why manufacturer decided to use separate torsion bars and install them onto the lower panels. Next we have also some rubber parts. This, as far as I can guess, will have to be used on road wheels, so just give me a second to open them. As you can see in the middle we have this special cardboard, but these are, as I said, rubber parts, and I'm not sure if professionals will be in favor of such, let's say, decision for this model, but still we have what we have. And from the other side of the plastic bag we have these metal wires, and note that there is also metal spring, which I'm not sure where it will come handy. We'll check it further in the video review. Then another nice feature is this separate plastic bag with all tracks. I'll remove only a pair of them, and here you can see them, really nice detailing. I can say that you won't need any metal replacements, because as you can see they are nicely detailed, and as you remember, the only thing you have to do here is to insert separate plastic pins, which you saw on the sprue with suspension parts. Now we have another plastic bag with decals sheet. Just give me a second. There is no mention where it was printed, but decals are quite, I would say, easy to feel with finger. So they're a bit raised over the surface. Here we have plenty of different stencils for the tank, as well as all necessary symbols for 3 marking options, as you remember. Next we have PE thread, as I said before, and I think, yes, there are several PE threads actually. They're packed into the separate plastic bag, and just give me a second to open them. And of course you'll need some previous experience in order to work with them, because these are quite tiny parts. Here you can see first one. I mean, this one is not that scary as this one. Here you can see that parts are really small. You can see comparison with my finger, and you'll have to be careful while working with them. And now we have another heavy element in this kit. It's assembly manual. It is quite thick, so that's why it is heavy. Here you can see its thickness. On the first page we have only some safety advices, then we have marking guide for another marking option, parts map, and note that there is no mention which parts won't be used in this kit. Another parts map. Assembly process starts with main gun, and I'm not sure where the main gun was placed. Let's check it by part. So it's a sprue is this one, so it was here, and it is molded as one-piece part, as you remember. So of course nobody stops you from replacing this part with some metal analog, and as you can see, spring will be used for the main gun, surprisingly. I'm not sure why such design was used for this part, but it will have to be inside main gun mounted. Next we have turret assembly, and note that there are several options for the turret assembly, so be careful and track what you are assembling in order not to assemble the wrong version for your marking option. Here you can see that we are still building turret, and there are plenty of different steps to perform in order to have turret done. That's the upper hull parts. Then we assemble spare tracks, and spare tracks will be assembled from the same parts as the main tracks. It's also quite a nice solution, so that maybe you can replicate only one spare track on the hull. Here we assemble whole suspension system. As you remember, our suspension system will be movable, so be careful with it, or maybe just fix everything in place with the glue. Then we assemble ammo stowage, again suspension system, engine parts, and then we assemble interior, place ammo, then we continue with engine here. Engine is placed into the rear section, of course, and we are already on the 44th page, and assembly process is still not finished, so you can guess what you have to do in order to get this vehicle done. And of course it does not include any painting steps, but on the 48th page you finish with assembling. Here you have marking guide, which is printed in color, and as you can see it features this stylish, let's say, yellowish paper. And here you can see also some suggestions for the interior colors. On the last page we have also marking guide for the interior section of this vehicle. So that's all for this video review. As you can see, we have really detailed kit from Rye Field Models. As far as I can guess and as far as I can remember, there is no other kit which can rival in detailing this model, at least at the moment. As far as I remember, main kit does not have interior included, so you have to buy it somehow separately. Also, some other manufacturers have also Panther G kits, but they're not as much detailed as this one. So if you would like to have really, let's say, realistic model, that's the one you choose for your build. Of course, I will be careful for beginners, because this kit will require some previous experience, but otherwise it looks quite fine. As usual, I will be happy to hear your opinion about this kit here in the comment section below. If you like this video, press the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Bye!